What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, I'm going to give you tips and tricks on the TCL 98-inch S5 4K television. So this runs Android TV. It's awesome. If you want to pick it up, it's linked down below. It's only $29.99 at the time of making this video. So check it out, link down below. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. So the first thing we're gonna do is go through the menu up top here. So at the top, you have the For You stuff, which is gonna be all the stuff that either you've watched or your apps and things that you can continue watching. There's any shows that it thinks you would like based off the apps that you have installed, movies that it thinks you would like or you do like, and shows as well. And then you can also see and look through different categories of things. You have sports news, if that's what you watch, which I do watch a fair amount of sports news, reality shows. So it has a bunch of stuff that it's gonna be, again, for you. If you hit your home button, it brings you right back to the top. So the home button on the remote is what I'm talking about. Live is gonna be live channels. You can see over 800 free channels in one guide. And I'm just gonna dismiss that. But basically it's gonna show any live apps that you have installed. So you have Google TV channels, popular stuff, and it categorizes it, and you can just choose what you want. You're like, you know what, I love hit TV shows, I'm gonna go over here, and then you just choose what you want. Maybe you wanna watch Are We There Yet? So I'll just turn that on. It's gonna play, or it'll go right to a commercial. Let's see what it does. There it goes, loads right up into it. I hit the home button, hit the home button again. Next is apps. This is where you can find apps, download apps, and go to your apps if need be. When you're in here, you can search for them. I can tap right here and I can search for it. I can even search by my voice. There's a, probably can't see it. I'll show you a little bit. There's a remote button. There's a microphone button on the remote, Walking Dead. And when I let go of that, it'll automatically search for
results for Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead, anything, any app that it's in, all that stuff. You can also browse through the apps that are available for download. You can see there's tons of apps on this because this runs Android TV, literally probably thousands of apps, I would assume, on here. I don't know how I would count them all, but there's a ton of apps. It has all the apps that you would want, from all the Netflixes and YouTube TV, ESPN, NFL app. Every app that you can think of is basically on here, and some stuff that's definitely not on other stuff as well. So let's go back to the home button. And then library is gonna be movies that you've purchased or TV shows that you've purchased. Those will show up right in here. If you purchase them on like the Google store, they'll show up here and you can come in here and play it. Maybe you wanna watch Elf, you tap on that and you can watch now or watch the trailer or add it to your watch list. And you can also find other ways to watch. If I click on this, it's gonna show me other places that I can watch it within this TV setup and apps that I have installed. At the bottom of library is where you'll find your watch list. So anything you add to your watch list will show up right here. Now going back to the For You tab, if you go into your apps, you can actually rearrange these and you can hit see all. And if you wanna rearrange these, all you gotta do is just press and hold on the select button on the remote. So like maybe I want my tune in, I can press and hold that, and then I can go to move, and then I just use my directional pad to choose where I want it to be. Maybe that's where I want it to be. I can hit that, and I'm still able to move stuff. I don't have to press and hold anymore. I can just select it. So maybe I'm like, you know what, I want Peacock to move up, and I choose that, and now Peacock's up. If I hit the back button on my remote, it will stop it, and then I can go back to what I was doing or click on one of these apps to do it. Also, a really quick way, if you're looking to uninstall an app that you have installed, all you're gonna do is press and hold the app on your select button on your remote, go to view details, and then you'll see uninstall. Just select that. All right, so here is the remote. It's really easy to use. You've got your button at the top. If you press that button, that brings up your little taskbar at the bottom that you can come in here and control AirPlay or go to your antenna. So you can basically switch your sources really quick or go into a specific app, and you can even edit these recent apps if you want, or things that it automatically shows. It's up to you. And if you want to, like I don't have antenna TV, select these. Like I don't want antenna app. I don't care about AirPlay, but you can't unselect that, I guess. What else don't I care about? This one's cool to have. This is cool. This is cool. Actually, I don't watch Peacock that much. Let me unselect that. All right, so I have all the ones I have selected. When I'm done, I'm just gonna hit edit done. And now you can see my new selections are right there. And then my apps that I wanted are selected here as well. You can add more if you want, and then I have my recent apps. The next button right here is the button, if I press that little person, that's gonna bring up my profiles. I can choose different profiles or add a profile. The button up the top is the microphone button that I showed you earlier. It allows you to press and hold it and ask questions. What's the weather right now?
Right now in Chula Vista, it's 59 degrees and clear.
So there you go, it gives me the weather.
For a high of 58.
This button in the top right is the settings button, so it'll automatically bring me into settings and I can, select anything I want right there. If I press it again, it goes away. Here's my directional pad, go up, down, left, right, and then the OK button would be to select things. You have your back button, your home button, you have your live TV buttons. If you press that, that's gonna go right to any television guide that you have set up on here. You have your volume up and down, your channel up and down. This button's actually cool. So if you press this, this actually brings up your settings kind of thing, but it brings up your little quick toggles for certain things. So if I wanna change the brightness real quick, or if I wanna go and change the picture mode, or the sound mode, or put this on a sleep timer, which is really cool. If you know you only want your TV to stay on for a certain amount of time, you can come on and do that and it'll automatically shut off after it's, whatever. You have your game master mode, which I'm not in a game, I'll show you that in a moment. But you can do some cool stuff with that. You can connect via Bluetooth, network and internet if you want to change your Wi-Fi. Live, if you watch on live TV, you can pause it, you have your settings, and you can edit this as well. If you come into edit, you can uncheck or check certain things that you do want to see. So you have a lot of control in here, a lot of customization. This button right here will mute the volume of what you're watching. You have your TV Plus button, which brings up again your TV guide type thing. You have your 1, 2, 3 button if you're looking to enter in specific digits. You have this button right here. This is gonna give you info on what you're watching or give you information on what's going on. Then you have quick buttons to go to Netflix or Prime Video or YouTube or TCL channel or TCL home or Apple TV, and I'll just press it real quick. If I go into YouTube, it's gonna automatically open up the YouTube app. So if I'm in a game and I press and hold this button right here, this one with all the lines on it, I press and hold it, it actually brings up this game thing, and this is freaking awesome. So I can take a screenshot and it'll show up in my gallery app. I'll do it, takes a screenshot. You can see screenshot taken, you can check it in the gallery. I'll show you that in a moment. You can come in here and choose the different mode that you're playing in. So like, here's the original mode, RPG type games, first person shooters. I actually like the first person shooter, but you might want to do this. Maybe I'll try this for actually, this looks kind of cool. I'll try RPG. You can do shadow enhancer, turn that on or off, so your shadows will be enhanced. You got all the way up to level 9, or just keep it off. It'll just keep this, enhance the shadows. You have aiming aid, which I haven't used yet, but I guess it shows you where to aim better. You have your menu button, which if you come in here, you can see HDR Gaming Interest Group, only available when HDR signal detected. Xbox may disable HDIG when HDR and Dolby Vision are enabled at the same time. Screenshot with game bar hidden. Aiming aid settings, you can change those aiming aid settings. And then you also have FAQ. If you click on that, it kind of tells you what basically everything does for the most part. So that's nice to have as well. Going back to the home button here, we're gonna go to the very top. You can search for anything you want on the television. You have a search button way up at the top right, but you can also hold your microphone like I showed you earlier on the microphone from any place you are. But if you want to type things or you search with your voice, you can do it right here as well. And it even gives you some helpful things to search for, such as play the Fresh Air podcast or what's the latest news. So there's a ton of things to do. You can even control your home settings in here as well, just by talking to you. If you have Google, Home set up on your account, you can come in here and control that with your television as well. Gonna go into settings here. You have your screensaver. These are all kind of short, quick inputs. You can actually also access these in the settings as well. And you can also click on this and change your profile. But I'm gonna go into settings real quick, go back here, and I'm gonna go into this gear in the top right. Here's my channels and inputs. I can adjust my channel settings and scan for new channels if you have like an antenna set up, or you plug directly into cable. You can also edit those channels if you want and get rid of some or clear the channel list. You have your inputs. This is what you can come in here. Like, so I have PlayStation 5, it's set it up as HDMI 1, but I can also change the name. So if I want to call it, you know, game console, which not a bad idea, I can do that. I can also come into HDMI 2, but you can also come in here and just give it a custom name. So you saw that it said PS5. So actually it's probably a better name to do it is just to come over here, select it, delete what's there, and put PS5. I'm able to really easily. I'm gonna hit OK, and now it's called PS5. And I can do that for all of these HDMI and different ports. Some of the stuff's smart enough to already know what it is. You can see Sonos Arc, because I have my Arc plugged into that. Going back, display and sound. This is where you can set up your different picture settings. So intelligent picture, automatically adjust picture settings for the best viewing experience. I turn off adaptive brightness. I just want my brightness to stay whatever it is, the same all time. I don't want it to mess it up at all, or change, I should say, based off the lighting conditions. So if you just want it to stay the same brightness and everything, turn that off. Same thing with adaptive content. It's not gonna switch between different things that I'm playing. I like it to just stay the way it is. Next is intelligent sound. It does very similar stuff where you can detect incoming audio types and automatically adjust the sound mode. So if you want to do that, you're able to. Picture settings, if you come in here, this is really where you can manually control everything. You can go to screen settings and auto detect things and overscan if something doesn't look right, or change the aspect ratio, apply all picture settings with the current input, restore the defaults. You have complete control over this stuff. I have basically, this is my setup in case you're curious and you like the way mine looks. Here's how I have it set up. Here's how I have this color set up. Color temperature, clarity, motion. So kind of how I have it set up. You can also go to expert and adjust that stuff. And then we're gonna go back. You got your audio settings, and if you're looking to change your audio output, you can click on this and change it to ARC, or I think there's an auto setting too. It'll automatically figure out what's plugged in or what you're using for speakers. But if you're having issues, like especially if you're using the ARC port, you just choose ARC. But I didn't have any problems. I just switched it to that though. Same thing with audio processing. You can put different, you can have it automatically adjust the audio processing or select one of these ones automatically. Advanced settings, there you go. Tons of different settings for this. Next is network and internet. This is where you can turn your Wi-Fi off if you were gonna not use that, which I don't know why you wouldn't wanna do it, but if you didn't want to, use the smart settings, but you can come in here and do network standby. Your TV will turn on automatically when you cast to it. So I'll just turn that on because I think that's a good one. You can check your internet connection. So it's connecting to my router and it's gonna check that internet connection and make sure everything looks good and is good. So you can see mine's all set. This is where you can sign into any account that you want. If you want, you can also add a kid's account. Here's your privacy. If you want like your you manage your ads or usage and diagnostics, you can come in here and do that. Your location, user agreements, Google Assistant. You have your hands-free mic, which it's built into the bottom of the middle of the TV. That's where the microphone's built in. I keep it off because I have so many Google devices, it kind of gets confused. So I keep that off. If you're concerned about app permissions, you can come in here and see which apps are, like for instance, using the microphone or files and media. Special app access, you can come in here and control different things on here to figure out what's controlling or what has access and all that stuff. You can turn it off if you want. Security and restrictions, if you're looking to install apps that aren't in the store, this is where you come and do that. You click on this and then just turn it on for that specific app, and that app will now be allowed to install apps that are not in the Google Play Store. Here's all your apps. You can also uninstall apps in here, so you can just find the app that you want. Like say I don't want Max to be installed, and click on it. I can force stop it if I'm having an issue. So if like the app isn't working correctly, come into settings, apps, and then hit force stop. and then hit OK. And that should help with the app, or you can uninstall it or open it from here. If you want to set it back to defaults, just hit clear data and then hit OK. Here's your system. So you can come into accessibility if you need text to speech or high contrast text. You can also come into about, and if you're looking to do a software update, just hit software update, and it should auto update, but you can also manually check. Just hit network update and then system update. And this will search to see if you have any updates, and you see mom up to date at this point. This is where you can change the name of your television. I have mine as 98 TV. You can reset the TV right here just by factory resetting it. Here's the Android version. Currently it's running Android 11. I don't know if that will get pushed up to 12, 13, or 14 anytime soon or ever. You can see the patch level, it's up to June 5th, 2023. If you're having trouble with your date and timing, or you want to change it to 24 hours, you can come in here and do it. Language, if you want to choose English, Spanish, or French. You can change your keyboard settings. Here's your storage. You can see total space. If I come in here, 23 gigs, and it looks like I have a ton of space left over. I have 20 gigs available. Ambient mode is going to be your screensaver. So I have it set up as my Google Photos, but you can also choose Art Gallery or Experimental. If you choose Google Photos, you have to go into your Google Home app on your phone or tablet and select your television in there. And then you can choose your Google Photos as your ambient mode. If I click on this, it's, I can't do anything else with it. But you can also, while that's up, you can show the weather for your area, Fahrenheit, Celsius, or hide it or show both. You can show the time. You can show personal photo data, portrait Google Photos. So you have some nice controls in here for your Google Photos mode on there, or your art gallery and all that stuff. Here's your power and energy, power on behavior. This is a cool one. So you can have it so when you power on your TV, it would automatically go to Google TV home screen or your last used input. So if you're always playing video games, that's all you do on the TV, or you always watch your Apple TV or whatever, you can have it use your last used input. So every time the TV turns on, it goes to that input. Energy saver, I love this. So I keep it at 4 hours. I wish I had something a little bit shorter, like 1 hour if I wasn't really using it, but 4 hours, it'll automatically turn off if I'm not really using it. Sleep timer, I'm not using it right now, but you can set sleep timers like I showed you earlier. Quick start, I would definitely turn these things on. It makes the TVs turn on a lot quicker. Screenless service, when enabled, allows certain features and commands to automatically turn on the TV when it is in standby mode. This is where you can cast. You can let others control your casting, or never, or always. System sounds, if you don't like hearing the system sounds, like when you're moving around the TV, which I usually don't, I turn it off right here, but you can set the volume to low, medium, or high. Here's your AirPlay and HomeKit settings if you want to set that up. This is where you can sign in with your TCL account if you have one. Parental controls, if you want to set parental controls so the kids can't access certain things. Advanced settings. You can change your standby LED. You can turn that off or flashing or normal on the TV if you don't like seeing that little LED light near the TV telling you when it's on or off. You can turn those lights on or off. That's your usage mode. You should set it for home mode. Store mode would be a little bit ridiculous. If you want to restart the TV without pulling the plug in the back out, just hit restart right there. Remotes and accessories. If you get a new remote or you want to pair a game controller to the TV or anything else, this is where you come. Hit pair accessory and you should be good to go. Here's remote control pairing. So if you click on this, you can see, are you sure you want to pair a new remote? Pairing a new remote will disconnect the current one. So if you wanted to, you can connect that new one. You saw I had Google Photos set up. If you want to watch that automatically, just go over here to settings, choose screensaver, and it will automatically go into the picture mode. And to get out of it, just press any button on the remote, pretty much the back button or home button, and it'll bring you back to where you were. All right, here's the ports on the back. You got Ethernet, you have 4 HDMIs. The HDMI, the fourth one is the eARC port. The one is 144 hertz, 2 I believe is 120 hertz, and 3 and 4 can run at 60 hertz. You have your cable antenna, you have your USB port, you have your audio video in, you have your headphone jack, you've got your audio output optical. That right there in the middle of the TV is actually a speaker, like subwoofer thing. It sounds really, really good, but I still personally use a soundbar with a subwoofer. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found that as helpful as I think I would if I was watching the video, especially if you're on the fence of buying this TV, buy it. It's amazing. It blows me away, guys. At $3,000, it's a great deal, amazing deal. So check it out in the link down below. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road. Peace.